Okay, hopefully everybody can hear me. Just had to, as a friend of mine would say, go drain the radiator. So now we are up and running. And hello, Bio, how are you doing? It's kind of impromptu. It's not going to be going live for that long because just walking, taking a little walk. What up, Dylan? How you doing, man? And haven't really done a stream post the debut episode of the Exiled Outcasts. Thank you to everybody for that has watched. I think it's past 160 so far. Episode 2 has been recorded, and of course, it is posted on Premiere for this Friday, same time. We're gonna keep that schedule. We're gonna be hopefully reviewing a couple more or recording a couple more episodes by at least my goal is by the end of the week, but just gotta play it by both of our schedules. Plus, with I know Mason will be coming in Wednesday, so that'll be what I do for the majority of that day. But plans may change regarding certain place we may go to due to rain. So hopefully Sunday will be a better time in regards to all that, but we shall see. I saw Beau is Afraid since there wasn't too many places that were showing it, so I found the close one to me, and I am going to put it on my #1 movie of the year so far, but I'm going to need to watch it a few more times. Oh, Cocaine Bear is great. I actually watched it again with my mother the other day. Also, Scream 6 will be coming to Paramount Plus on tomorrow. So if you're a Paramount Plus subscriber and you have not seen Scream 6, I have warmed on it since my initial thoughts. After a few viewings, I actually enjoy it more than I enjoy the movie, but I didn't know if it was like where it was in my rankings. But now I'm comfortable putting it at my number 4. Or not my number 4, sorry, my number 3 behind Scream 5 and Scream the original. Basically, it's what is it? Scream, the original Scream number 1, Scream 5 number 2, Scream 6, and then Scream 4, and then 2 and 3 to round it off. What's up, Tom? And what's up, Outer Heaven? I'm gonna put the link in. Again, I'm not gonna be live for too long. I also, if you noticed, I did, yeah, definitely. I recommend watching it because again, I was not the biggest fan of probably the third act. I won't go too much into detail, but after rewatching it a couple of times since that reaction, I enjoy it a lot more. And that's the thing about reactions. You may, like right now, I'm still in shock from what do you call it? I'm still in shock in regards to why are you wasting your life away watching Raw? I can't remember the last Raw I watched in full. Probably Scream 2 is a good one. I will not deny that Scream 2 is, good, but I really didn't think there was a great Scream film after the first one until Scream 4. And then it's kind of continuously grown. But I'm trying to remember the last time I watched a Raw. It had to be, I think it was the night after the Royal Rumble 2020, the one where Edge came back. I think that was the last Raw I saw. We're going to add a guest. We have Bio coming into the open house. How are you doing, Bio?
Whoop, whoop. I am doing great, Hangman. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just, like I said, just on my way home after seeing Beau is Afraid. So, really enjoyed it, but it is a very, very odd movie. Let's see. Watch it because I started got into wrestling. Oh, that's nice, Tom. That's good, man. To be honest with you, I really go to movies nowadays. Well, especially when I was more reviewing movies on YouTube, I went to the movies almost every week. I still try to, but it's not like, with work or what have you. I just sometimes don't have the time. But when I was off today, and Bo's afraid is only in a couple of, is only going to be here for probably another week before it gets booted out of most of the theaters in San Antonio. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to see it today. I had to go to Alamo Drafthouse, which was my first time going to the one that, for any of you San Antonio people, it's near North Star Mall. It's actually a very nice Alamo Drafthouse. I had the Carnivore and the, which is basically a meat lover's pizza with a Dr. Pepper.
One of my favorite. Yep, one of my favorite drinks, Dr. Pepper and meat lover pizza. Yep.
Oh yes, pizza. Like I was debating on going to CC's today since it's in the area. But I was like, screw it. I was like, let me just get some. Cost me more to eat it at Alamo Drafthouse, but I was like, fuck it. But Carnivore, if you're ever in Alamo Drafthouse, try the Carnivore. It's really good. Luckily, they've not gotten rid of it since, after all these years. And what's up, True Anonymous, and what's up, Coco? And yes, Whataburger is awesome. I had that. Fuck, when did I have that? I think on, because I was doing bartending. I'm a man that wears many hats at where I work. I was doing bartending. I made about basically my first full night doing that. I made about $50. So got me some Whataburger. I think I think it was Sunday. I think that was when I went. Yeah, Whataburger's shit. But I was gonna ask you, since you're in here, how's your Resident Evil 5 gameplay stuff doing? Where are you at right now?
Oh, right now I'm in the last part. I believe maybe tomorrow or this Wednesday I'm gonna upload the finale.
Oh, nice. And what game series or what game are you gonna do after this? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm still going to continue Resident Evil 5, but I want to do it like a challenge, like the only pistol or only shotgun challenge after that. But if it's not that, I'm going to start off with Resident Evil 6 next, which is one of people's most hated Resident Evil, which, by the way, I'm one of the few people that defended that game because of how much fun it is.
Yeah, the game is like Resident Evil 6 is not like. Now, as far as a Resident Evil game, it's a bad Resident Evil game. But as far as like the game itself, it's actually a really fun game. If you could just kind of turn your brain off and just look at it for what it is, it's actually a lot of fun. I recently went back to it when I was basically playing through all the Resident Evil games in preparation for Resident Evil 4 remake. And like I said, I had a lot of fun with the game, and I kind of, if I ever reviewed it, I don't think I did back in the day, but if I ever did, I would have been like, we were talking about 6, but 5 was, even though I defend the hell out of 5, even though I know some people hate that one, but 5, 6 was the downfall, like in terms of the Resident Evil games. I agree. Resident Evil 0, that would be cool if they actually remade that one too. I gave it because it wasn't a remake. It was built on the engine of the remake, but it wasn't a full-on remake of a older version. And hello, Leon, how you doing? But yeah, 6. What do you call it? And 6 was, I believe, the only game where we actually had interaction, at least in the games, between Leon and Chris, because they were never on the screen together. Again, they may be on some of the animated stuff. I've not seen all the animated Resident Evil stuff, but as far as games, I believe that's the only time they've ever been in the same game and on screen together. But I could be wrong. But
Resident Evil 6 is my guilty pleasure game.
Yes. Let's see. Every remake came out long ago, so they need to make the first one. Because like I can agree to that because it is as far as the main game right now or the remake of the original Resident Evil, it is dated compared to the other three remakes. Like people are gonna be like, ooh, like let's say new gamers or whatnot. They're gonna play Resident Evil 2, 3, 4. And they're like, I wonder if there's a remake of the first game. And then they're gonna see us, oh hell yeah, I get to play like the same game but in the mansion. And then they play and they're like, what the fuck's this? Like any younger people who may not have lived through tank controls. Even though I started with Resident Evil 4 back in the day, it was still one of my annoyances. That's why I'm hoping and from what they're teasing, I believe they're going to do Resident Evil 5 remake next. Is that they remake 5 because that's the last one besides the OG Resident Evil remake that has those tank controls, unless you count Zero or what's the other one? Fuck. Code Veronica. So I'm down. I'm down for whatever they decide to do, but like I said in a previous stream, for the love of God, give us a Dino Crisis remake for Christ's sake.
Go
ahead.
Yes, I agree. I agree with Dino Crisis, but the Dino Crisis remake might be a great idea. I used the word might, but the remake that Capcom should definitely make is Resident Evil Code Veronica X. That is the remake that Capcom should make because Code Veronica X, the original one, well, I should say the original is from the Dreamcast, but the PS2 version is one of my least favorite, if not probably the worst. And that might be controversial to some people because some people like Resident Evil Code Veronica X. I am not one of them, and I'm not a fan. And they should definitely make a remake because the mechanics in Code Veronica X, even the original Code Veronica from the Dreamcast, is dated really badly. It's like one of the worst. I mean, when it comes to storyline, it's great. But when it comes to gameplay wise, it sucked. That's why I believe they should make a Code Veronica X remake like they did to 1 through 4.
Yeah, and it's like, another one that I think doesn't get a lot of love, and I would be okay with them remake it, but I don't think they will. I would like for Capcom to remake Resident Evil Outbreak. Hell, put File 2 in there too, just make a combo. Let's see. Let's be honest, what we all really want, a Resident Evil 6 remake.
No, they don't make a Resident Evil 6 remake. Hell, they ain't gonna make a Resident Evil 5 remake. To be honest with you, Resident Evil 5 is probably one of the most unappreciated games out there. It's one of my top 5 favorite Resident Evil games of all time. In fact, some things that Resident Evil 4 makes, the original, some things in Resident Evil 5, they make it better. They took the things that Resident Evil 4 make and made it better. Well, except for one thing only, and that's the horror elements from Resident Evil 4, which is still there, but Resident Evil 5 horror elements is not there. So that's one of the things that Resident Evil 4 still got it better than 5. But most of the things that 5 did, most of the things what 4 did, 5 got it better. They took what everything what 4 did, most things what 4 did, 5 was better. Just saying,
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and to answer Cypress TV comment, yes, it's true. Resident Evil 0 is underrated. I took that back. It's one of the most underrated games, but it's not the underrated game, though. It's good. I believe Resident Evil 0 is like my second or third favorite in the series. But to tell you the truth, the most underrated Resident Evil game in franchise history is Resident Evil Revelations Part 2. That's the most underrated game ever. And it's a very good one, too. It's a very good one.
Yeah, I didn't play Revelations or Revelations 2 until probably within the last year. I bought Resident Evil 5, Revelations, and Revelations 2 on the Switch. And I was like, because I thought to myself, especially Revelations, because Revelations originally was a 3DS title that got ported over to the main systems. So I thought, okay, because I don't know how it's gonna look on PS4, PS5, whatever. So I was like, okay, the Switch, I think it'll look better on the Switch. I have the Switch Lite. So playing it on there looked great, and then Revelations 2 was also a great game. So I can agree with that because again, like I wouldn't even mind if they ever did a third installment to the Revelations series because my main thing is I want the next Resident Evil game, like the mainline game, Resident Evil 9. I know there was rumors about them going with like the Wendigo and all that, which as someone who is a Native American, loves Native American history and like legends and all that stuff, I would love that. There was a movie that came out a couple of years ago called Antlers, which also talked about the Wendigo. And I think while it may be different, I think, well, like to be fair, like even the last Resident Evil game, Resident Evil Village, had things in the game that you didn't really see, like werewolves or vampires and all that. Which, again, as someone who I've said this about Resident Evil Village, I love Resident Evil Village, but it's to me the best vampire werewolf game in many, many years because unfortunately those games do not get a lot of love. The last werewolf game that I remember playing that I did enjoy, but it had its own issues, but still one of the best looking PS4 games out there was the Order 18, I think it was 1886 or 1866. I can't remember exactly the year,
the Order 1886. That's the name of the game.
Okay, I was correct the first time. Okay. But that one was great, but it like the problems was more cinematics, less gameplay, and I felt like it was too short compared to like other games. But that's the thing with a lot of modern games is that like I remember people were so concerned about the runtime of Resident Evil 4 and all that, and I could see from people getting burned by by Resident Evil 3 remake. Like I'm replaying it currently on my channel, and while I do enjoy Resident Evil 3 remake more than others, it is a lesser, like if I had to put it in the modern remakes, it is the bottom of the remake list. Just I'm referring to 2, 3, and 4, not including 1, but in regards to because the Clock Tower scene was a very pivotal. If you've played the OG Resident Evil 3, which I did play on GameCube, I wish I still had that copy. I know that and Resident Evil 2 on the GameCube are fucking high up there. It's like Silent Hill 2 and some of the Silent Hill games on PS2 and Xbox. They're fucking. I could have made a couple of $100 off of those things. It's still the old saying of like these games you pay $50 for. You never think in maybe 10 to 15 to 20 years that these games are going to be fucking worth basically quadruple what you paid for back in the year they came out. I remember I think it was Star Wars Battlefront 2, the OG Battlefront 2 on Xbox. For some reason, the Xbox version was a lot more than the PS2 version. That also happened, I believe, to Futurama. Back in the OG Xbox and PS2. And then Teen Titans. Some of these games, like they would be very cheap on one system, but then on another system, they would be expensive. It's probably because of, maybe more people bought the PS2 version, so they didn't make as much copies. And then, of course, they stopped making the game and or manufacturing it and all that. Let's see. Tom says, they could make a horror-style Castlevania game. Imagine being stuck in a castle and jump scares of vampires. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Well, is it Konami who owns Castlevania? If that's the case, then that explains why there probably is not a new Castlevania game. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yes,
but
Konami owned Castlevania.
Okay, that probably explains it because like they have so many. Like, I'm excited they're finally doing something with Silent Hill. I know they're remaking 2, which basically was the reason why. Besides, the main reason why I bought a PS5 first was not because of Wolverine or Spider-Man 2 or whatever. It was because the Silent Hill 2 remake, which is still my favorite horror game of all time, And it's funny because I prefer Silent Hill over Resident Evil, even though I have a love for Resident Evil. And also, Resident Evil has, to me, better games in the catalog than Silent Hill. To me, the best Silent Hill games are the first 4, with The Room being the underrated one. But the first 4 Silent Hills were some of the best horror games of all time. And after that, it went on a downhill trend, which is unfortunate. But the remake, I know they're making some more Silent Hill games. I want them to do something to Castlevania. I think one of the last Castlevania games was Lords of Shadows, which is basically another like God of War clone. Lords of Shadows 1 and 2, I believe.
I never played any of the Silent Hill games, but I have seen it on YouTube, and yeah, they're okay. They're good. I mean, I'm not too much of a Konami person, well, except for Metal Gear, but I was more into the game than the company. I mean, when it comes to company, yeah, I was pretty much a fan of it, like Capcom. But everybody got their own opinion and things.
Yeah, like I was like probably some of my favorite game companies when I was growing up. THQ, because they made a lot of my childhood games like MX Unleashed, all that good stuff. Of course, WWE games back in the day. Trying to think of other ones. Capcom, because like Resident Evil and Dead Rising. And again, another like one thing that some of these franchises have in common, they've had their ups and downs, which again is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Regarding all that, like Guerrilla Games, they, one of my favorite first-person shooters, I preferred this over Halo, is the Killzone franchise. And I loved Killzone 2, 3, I loved Shadowfall, and I even liked the first one. I didn't play the first one until they released in a collection pack for the PS or PS3 back in the day. And hey, Nick, how you doing, man? But what do you call it? But Guerrilla Games, after Killzone Shadowfall, they just kind of focus more on Horizon, which I like. Horizon's not just. I heard about that. There was like rumors that they were going to be announcing a new title, and I said, well, let's hope it does better than the last world title they announced, which was, I think, the what was it? It was a 24/7 title, I think. All right, welcome, Nick.
Hail Satan. Hello, Satan.
How you doing, Nick?
Doing good.
That's good, man. But yeah, let's hope it ends better than, maybe they'll have a better design than even the Universal title. I've seen in the WWE 2K23 game, like they have like modern versions of old belts. Like they'll have the spinner belt. Like I was doing basically a sports entertainment character for my character in Universe, where I beat Cody Rhodes for the Winged Eagle belt. And then I tossed it in the garbage. It brought out the spinner WWE title, but with the current logo. Because I thought, a lot of people didn't like that belt. Now, granted, the 3 belts I grew up with. I grew up with of course, the big Winged Eagle belt, the one from the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
Then the one which I think doesn't get enough love, the Undisputed title from 2002. Basically the title that was there until John Cena made the spinner belt. And the spinner belt, which, like, again, as someone who I was a John Cena fan of those periods, I did like the spinner belt. I'm not one of these guys who hates on it. To me, two of the worst titles WWE made was probably the Divas title, and then what was the other? And the 24/7 title. You could say the women's titles, the modern day women's titles, or the Universal title, but like at least they were copying off of cool looking designs. But like the simple, yes, but oh hey man, yeah, I saw your post, brother. I saw you've been chilling in Florida, meeting a lot of people. That's good, man. I'm glad. Looked like you had fun.
Florida is awesome.
Like speaking of which, I've been needing to put this in my Discord, in the Discord, so I'd be like, ZTV, you alive? Because I have not seen him in a while in terms of posting or commenting or saying it. I'm like, hopefully he's doing okay. Have you talked to him recently, Bio?
No, I haven't. He has been very quiet recently.
I
Yeah.
don't blame him, you know? He's getting away from all this.
No, I feel him. He'll probably be like, when he finally kind of resurfaces, he'll be like, okay, I need a recap on everything that's happened, because really a lot has happened, good, bad, and somewhere in the middle since he's been away. So I was like, well, it's only been 2 weeks, but like, it's funny just to be like, oh yeah, I was like, I haven't seen ZTB in a while, like and all that. Even he missed my first Tales from the News episode, which I thought, oh, he's got a lot to catch up on. Speaking of which, technically I didn't postpone. I canceled the last episode, the episode that was supposed to premiere tonight for Tales from the News or go live, because one, I had other ideas. Number two, I'm still under the debating process if I want to keep that show live or if I want to do like I did with the Exiled Outcast and just record it and then post it, because a little bit easier for me not to be paying attention to the chat while I'm talking. So I don't know yet, because I will say this. Doing pre-record on StreamYard actually is very good. I very much enjoy doing that. Plus, you could download the audio for each episode, which is nice. So I can, not just the video, but the audio, which is what I'm going to be doing. I guess I'll say this for an announcement. I mentioned previously that the Exiled Outcast will be going to Spotify and all my... It'll be going like after each episode premieres, probably a week or two after. What I'm planning on doing is premiere is have episode 1 drop on my Spotify and all that on probably Saturday, the usual time for the House of Chain podcast, because the show is on leave until June. So I thought, okay, well, I was trying to figure out something to put in in the meantime, and I thought, okay, the Exiled Outcast kind of fits that mold. It's more laid back, even more laid back than the podcast, because I'm not really reading off of any reports. We're just kind of shooting straight from the hip. But so I was like, okay, I'll put that there. So I've already downloaded the audio. I just got to post it. So anybody else that wants to listen to it will be able to have a place to listen to it. Or if you already heard or watched the videos, listen to it again. There'll be certain things you may not like, things I'll be doing going forward regarding certain things that you have to watch it first. But if you want to listen to it after it, I'll have it just on the podcast, but I'll probably put it a week after it premieres, because that way it gives the video to breathe. I think a week is a good amount of time for a show to breathe, for an episode to breathe on YouTube, and then I can migrate there. But it'll still be on YouTube if you want to watch it. Let's see who's coming in now. Oh, hey, what's up? Okay, hey, what's up, man?
Doing good. How about you?
Nothing much. Just chilling right now. Just taking a walk. I'll be ending this probably in maybe 15 minutes, just to keep it contained. I've been trying to. One of the things I've also learned is to keep certain things short, like at least under an hour, because as I've seen with, of course, the Exiled Outcasts, is that leave the audience wanting more of whenever, and plus these are not really planned. Like I will do them whenever, like today I was not planning on doing one. I was like, I haven't done one of these in a little bit. So I was like, okay, let me do it. Plus it gave me time to design a logo. Let's see.
I saw you guys were talking about Scream earlier.
Yes, it's Scream 6 will be going to Paramount Plus tomorrow. Because it's not coming out in physical media until July. I just got notified because of the fact that I have the Scream 6 Steelbook on pre-order. So it was letting me know, hey, it's coming on this day, but they're releasing it on digital early and on that. Let's see. I want to see what Cypress said. That's funny. I did a bunch of live VR shows of Meta Talk, but the live show premieres for me in June also. Yeah, like the House Shame podcast is just primarily on my pot on like Spotify and all. I'm still deciding whether or not I'm going to do any either live shows or anything in that nature. So I'm still debating on that because I may just keep that separate like I have been and just bring the Exiled Outcast on there as like a bonus thing for especially to tide people over until the actual show comes back. And I'll probably still keep putting them out there. I'll probably just change the day. That way it'll be that way also I could build on my podcast audience by having more than one show a week or every 2 weeks. Maybe I think the plan I may have is because I'm debating on keeping the House of Chain podcast possibly a every 2 week show on the podcast. And what I may do is within the week that the House of Chain is not airing, I'll probably put the Exile Outcast on there once the show comes back in June. So that is something I'm thinking about. Just again, brainstorming different ideas regarding what I'm going to do because again, it's a nice little. At least that way I have something to put up instead of being like, oh God, I gotta record a new episode and all that. But yeah, it's something I've been trying to do is keep certain streams I have short, at least the regular like these streams, not regarding what's one I could think of. The gameplay live streams. Gameplay live streams are as long as I want them. But anyway, go ahead, Blue.
Yeah, I just want to give out a little trivia. I'm just a really big fan of the Paramount company. I really love the stuff that they do. It's great.
Yeah, and and they're good with their physical media stuff too. My only criticism is certain things they do not have movies that, or when they release movies on 4K, they're very picky on which ones have Blu-ray or 4K and Blu-ray and just 4Ks. I think like some of the Scream movies have come out 4K, like the first Scream, if you wanted just the standard 4K, you had or that was the only way you could get it was the standard 4K, but if you wanted the 4K and Blu-ray combo pack, you had to buy the Steelbook. Same thing with Scream 5. Scream 2, funny enough, came with the Blu-ray and the 4K and the Blu-ray with the standard edition. I have the standard edition of Scream 2. I'm hopeful that they will reissue that Steelbook like they did with Scream 1 and 5 so I can pick that up because I like having all the Scream 4Ks on Steelbook. You know, or what you call it? Oh yeah, that's good, Bio, and thank you for coming in and us talking about some stuff. Anytime, man. Go ahead, Blue.
You know, like as much as I am a big fan of Paramount, and I think the company is doing a lot better than Disney and Warner Brothers Discovery. I mean, it should be obvious they're doing a hell of a lot better. I think they still have some issues, and I think they have a lot, and I mean a lot of catching up to do if they want to be a really good company. And I just wish that Tom Freston would be running the company today. For those who don't know, he was the creator of MTV and Nickelodeon. He they put him as they named him as the president and CEO of Viacom back when the company was around. It's not around anymore, but back when Viacom was around, they put him in charge, and he was doing great. But Sumner Redstone fired him back in 2006. Why? All because he didn't buy MySpace. That was the only reason why they fired Tom Freston, just because him and his company didn't buy a certain dumbass website that's not relevant anymore, and that is fucked up.
I'm here. I'm just trying to. I think I stepped on a thumbtack, so I'm trying to get it out of my. There we go. I was trying to get out off my shoe. Did I drop my ticket? Please tell me I didn't. Okay, I did. Got it. Yeah, I want to keep that ticket. It was my Beau is Afraid ticket. Whenever I buy, I've started to. Whenever I get the Blu-ray or 4K of a movie, I like to actually buy if I've seen it, see if I can get the ticket. I like to have the ticket and put it in my Blu-ray case just for I don't know. It's something cool to me, I guess.
Yeah.
But regarding Paramount, yeah, like even their streaming service has like had a lot of ups and downs regarding it's kind of like I'm really looking forward to the Fatal Attraction remake that they're doing for Paramount Plus. I'm a big Lizzie Kaplan fan, and I honestly, she was of course in True Blood. She was in The Interview with James Franco and Seth Rogen. She was in a show called Masters of Sex and all that. I love her, and she is fucking going to be Glenn Close's character, which I know to some of the older audience, hello Dan, that this may be what do you call it, blasphemy, but I just never found Glenn Close attractive enough for Michael Douglas to sleep with her and cheat on his wife. Lizzie Kaplan in the new show, I find way more attractive. I'd cheat on my wife for her. But you know, that's
You would cheat on your wife for a sandwich.
for a sandwich. See, I ain't that much. That's more the women here in San Antonio. I ain't that much of a slut. I at least have some. Yeah, I'm like, I'm at least that. Like, usually it's the other way around. Be like, hey, I'll take you to. We talked to us before. I'll take you to Taco Bell. Okay, I'll suck your dick. I'm like, oh, I wasn't really expect that, but okay.
I told you when I went to come visit you, and I went to Whataburger. She looked at me longingly. It was ridiculous. I just asked for direct.
I know, like especially. Like nobody the maps on to find exactly where I'm at is always a bitch to get to do. I usually, even when I'm yeah, I agree with Dexter and Shameless. Well, Dexter the first, let's say maybe 4 seasons.
It was great until they killed off what's her name. I don't want to ruin it, but some people died. It kind of ruined the show.
Hello, Wrestling Snowman.
Hello, Wrestling Snowman, the illegitimate son of Al Snow.
Are you referring to Rita or Deborah? Because I know those are both women that were killed.
Don't ruin the show.
The show is like many. I always say this. Like after a show. Oh, thank you, Wrestling Snowman. I'm glad you liked it. And this Friday is going to be a good one too. Sparkles needs maggots in his diet.
Are you talking about the Outcast?
Yes, that's what Wrestling Snowman said in here. Yeah.
I apologize first for this next episode. I was drunk. I was really drunk.
But I like because again it goes back to like the two dudes shoot the shit, like it'd be like you're having a couple of beers and shit.
That was good. I enjoyed it, but I was drunk.
Oh yes. Well, we'll see if either episode 3 Dan's gonna need alcohol or he'll already have alcohol when we do episode 3. Wink, wink.
When you see the thumbnail for episode 3, y'all are gonna shit yourselves.
Yes, he's going to need a big old bottle of Jack Daniels.
I'm going to need to scrape my eyeballs out, probably. Fuck the Jack. Just scrape my eyeballs out.
And as I mentioned in the community tabs, for those who want to see what episode 3 is going to be, or at least a tease, just wait till the end of episode 2. That's all I'm going to say.
Sounds good.
But what do you call it regarding?
Go on.
Oh yeah, he said he made the thumbnail. He's still terrified about it. What do you call it? It's a deuce. We have at least, I would say, the next couple episodes already planned out what we're going to talk about. But again, as like something I've decided to do is just leave teases for each end, because it's a lot easier for me in terms of plus my promotion tools that will do the talking as the days come along. It's like now I just have this thumbnail and the fucking my name is check out the Exiled Outcast this Friday. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
So you were talking about something earlier regarding something, or?
Oh yeah, well, so we were talking, of course, the Fatal Attraction reboot that they're doing on Paramount Plus, which I believe comes next week. There's going to be 2 shows coming out next week on 2 different streaming services. That one, and then Love and Death with Elizabeth Olsen, which is basically based on a true story that happened, I believe, in Kyle, Texas, if I remember correctly, back in, I believe, in the 80s. Which basically a woman was.
That's a Stevie production, and it was an amazing movie.
Oh yes, I was actually rewatching it because I watched. I was doing like a Michael Douglas double feature. I was watching Basic Instinct and then finished that, and then was starting. I think it was Fatal Attraction, and my internet went out due to it raining. So I was like, "Fuck!" But luckily, I had the 4K. So I always say, save your or that's why I'm all about physical media, because if the internet goes out, you can't watch your streaming stuff. Just pop in your whatever 4K player, game system, whatever, and you can put it in. Let's see who's coming in. Oh wait, we got another. Wait. There's 2 Dans. Which one do I boot? Oh, the other Dan popped up. I think you had internet issues. That's probably why it was 2, because it was the same account. So it wasn't
No,
like
I backed out.
Oh, okay, that explains it. But
See, like I'm
But
over
yeah,
here,
like,
where it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre area. So I'll just back out and listen until I find a better signal.
all right, well, I'll probably be in this in a couple minutes. So, he left. Well, I'll probably in.
I was actually going to say, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But I was
Yeah,
going to
good.
say, I actually know who Michael Douglas is. I actually know him from the movie Fallen Down, which was a really good movie.
Yes, that's such a fucking great underrated movie. Like, not a lot of people talk about that movie. Like, it's amazing film, and it kind of still is, like, it's relevant even to today's climate, if you will. Now, Rusty Sobet says, I agree, physical media is king. Don't have to worry about movies leaving a service or games being delisted on the store. Exactly, because or even internet goes out. Like if your internet goes out, let's say you shut off power in your place, you'll be able to put the fucking movie in and all that. Now, and it sucks because, like, with the streaming things, the only time I usually don't buy anything digital unless it's on a Blu-ray or a 4K of it. Like I have Ready to Rumble on like, I think I bought it on Google Play and all that. But like I pay about like $80 for my internet. And my internet's not like the fastest internet in the world, but shit, like I'll say this, it streams my games in pretty good quality. With PS5, I was afraid of that, but it actually did. But I know the processor on PS5 is a lot better than than everything else. So, but yeah, regarding that, that's why I have all the movies I have. Like, that's why it sucked when my Xbox One S died last year, because, like, for example, I had The Guest on 4K, but it was an Australian release, and 4K 99.9% of the time is region free, no matter where you buy it. But Blu-rays, so I had a Blu-ray of The Guest, another underrated movie with Dan Stevens, but that one couldn't play because it was, I think, region B on, like, if I had another, or if I put it in PS4 or whatever. I am thinking about getting a region free Blu-ray player just for that reason, because I know some movies it's actually cheaper to buy the European versions and all that, and all that good stuff, or the foreign versions, because it's some of these American releases that are not even in print anymore. So I'm so excited. There was this underrated 80s movie called Trick or Treat. I believe Synapse is releasing on 4K later this year. I'm so excited for that. And Swamp Thing is the original Wes Craven movie. Swamp Thing is coming to Blu-ray and 4K.
Oh, nice.
Let's see who's coming in. All right, I mean, we'll probably kill it at the probably the 50-minute mark or the 55.
I'm hoping now it sounds better.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. No, why don't you just get a VPN? Because if you get a VPN, just change your location. You can pretty much watch anything you want.
How much are those things? Of course, I see all the YouTubers like Dead Meat and all that, which I know that channel doesn't watch. But condolences, his father recently passed away, and he's going to be taking a sabbatical off of YouTube. So I'm a very big fan of Dead Meat. So
I want to say we pay about $10 a month, but we literally I can change my VPN to anywhere. So no one, it's a safety thing, so no one can track my IP. But two, I can put my VPN, set it to Japan, to Tokyo, Japan, and whatever Netflix is in Tokyo, Japan, I can get those movies, or I can send it to Ontario, Canada. Just depending on where I want to. And yeah, I used to make fun of VPNs, but they're not bad.
Are they only for example, can you only use them on TVs or phones if you're on a website, or do you? Or
no, it's mine is. I use what's it called? Access or something like that. VPN.
Yeah. ExpressVPN.
ExpressVPN. Yeah, I can use it on my phone. I use it on the PlayStation. I use it on my TV, on my computer. I can have up to 5 different devices at once.
And that's not bad for $10. I may actually try that at least for a month to see how it is. Because because I've heard a lot about that. Of course, I know people were trying to do that with WWE Network once Peacock took over and all that same.
And that's the thing. The European, in England and still over there, they have the WWE Network. They haven't got the Peacock, or as Will once called it, the cock. But it just, like I said, some people prefer that over having to go through the hell of, let me buy this new equipment, let me buy this, because we're kind of hamstrung with the content we get here. As much as we're supposed to be this free fucking country, we get a lot of censorship.
And that's the other reason why. One second, I want to look at the private chat. Thank you, man. You have a good night too, brother. Yeah, it's that's why going back to physical media. That's why I always champion that too, because you never know what they're going to try to do to censor certain things or change certain things, because it's not I heard rumbling that they were going to be rewriting the James Bond books so that way they're not as misogynistic.
Which is stupid. The whole point of James is fucking shaken, not stirred. He's the man's man. He's a gentleman. He's basically Europe's version of fucking Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Exactly. By the way, if you want to see Sam Elliott really young without a mustache or any beard, check out a movie. Going back to Dead Meat for a moment. Dead Meat actually did a kill count. My mom introduced me to this movie. It's a movie called Frogs from the 70s. It's kind of it's a horror movie from the 70s, but it's a fun little movie. So if you need you want to check something different and see Sam Elliott really fucking young, check out Frogs. I don't know. I remember it was free on YouTube. All right, man. I appreciate you coming in, Nick. So that's some recommendation. Go ahead.
You. Who wants to watch me and you talk? You.
I know, right? I know. It's like yeah. I don't know. It's like, fuck. What we gonna do now? But I am going to be ending this because I was going to try to keep under an hour, kind of, and all that. Plus, it's funny how it ended with the two of us again. That's funny.
Stupid.
But yeah, definitely check out me and Drunk Dan this Friday and our shenanigans this Friday and all that. I think y'all will enjoy it. And check out whatever else I'll be doing. I got my reaction of Beau is Afraid on the shorts. So if you want to see what my full thoughts are, because that movie's still stuck in my head, especially the last act. I don't know if I'll ever get that image out of my head. But
Next week's episode, let me get that image out of my head.
I know, right? Maybe we'll trade images. Maybe then, but I don't know if you want. I don't know if you want the image that I saw. Maybe worse than the image that you saw.
I would definitely agree. The image I saw is frightening.
Oh no! The image I saw in Beau's Afraid is more frightening than that. But I'll leave it to that.
I know you're about to cut it, and I know you're about to end it. But I finally saw Barbarian. The fuck.
Oh yes, that movie was fucking excellent. I think that was like one of the first posters I got from work that I put up on my wall, which still up there. It's still up there. I just actually got the Beau is Afraid poster, and I put that up. Basically took the spot of my Invitation poster. Horrible movie, but good. Not Beau is Afraid, but Invitation. Horrible movie, but good poster. So let's see. Cypress says, or Tom says, I will never understand today's society. Ignoring the past or rewriting the past will only create a generation of people that will do it all over again. Exactly. It's like the old saying about history is written by the winners and all that shit. It's like, it's
Yeah,
like,
but none of us are winning from this bullshit. It's all, I'm going on a tangent. That's yeah.
Hey, agreed. Like even with WWE, they always make it look like they were always going to beat WCW back in the Monday Night Wars, even though they were at the point of bankruptcy in '97. So it's not like they were.
It's like people trying to say Kevin Nash was a great wrestler.
Oh, he's the greatest of all time, you motherfucker. One of the greatest of all time. He all the shit he did from going back to all that and like the '90s.
Fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you, man.
Yeah.
End your
like
damn show.
I know. It's just, you touch a sore subject, Dad. Anyway, y'all take care, guys, and make sure to like and all that good stuff. And until next time, this has been the House of Chayton, and I can't believe you still believe it. He is, damn it, he is. I will fight. I will die on that sword. Anyway, what do you call it? We lost because Dan was the smarter of the four of us. Anyway, y'all take care, and I will see y'all next time. Until then, this is the House of Chayton and Dan. And until then, ta-ta for now. Peace, guys.